use for your projects? Do you use imported yarn? Kauthar, where can I buy yarns from in Nigeria? I don't know where to get supplies. Where do you get your crochet hooks from? I'm answering all that in today's video. This is a highly requested video, so if you are a crocheter or an intending crocheter in Lagos, Nigeria, this video is a must watch. It is going to answer a lot of the questions you have. It's even going to go over the questions you did not know that you had. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kauthar. If this is your very first time seeing my face, and I'm Nigeria's crochet queen. I teach people how to crochet and I teach people how to make a living by selling their crochet items. If this sounds like something you are interested in, definitely click on the subscribe button right now so that you do not miss out on any one of my videos. Like I said, in today's video we are going to be talking about yarns, and I'm making those videos specifically for Nigerians. I'm a crocheter in Lagos, Nigeria, so I'm filming this video to answer one of the questions I get asked a lot. Okay, like guys, I get this question like every day or every other day, and I've just been telling people, like all those that asked me that question this week, I've just been telling them, you know what, just wait till Friday. I'm going to be answering all of these questions in the YouTube video that is going live. So you know, if you've ever wondered anything about the yarns I use for my project, what yarns you can use for your project, where you can buy the yarns from, where you can buy other crochet tools from, I'm answering all of that in this video. So let us just get started. All right, the very first thing I want you to know is that no matter where you are in the world, so even if you're watching this from another part of the world, I'm so sure that there's going to be yarn in your country. And what I have noticed myself in the years that I've been running my business is that different countries have like different yarns that are like readily available to them. If you've been crocheting for any amount of time and you've been like on Instagram with crochet, you're going to notice a lot of people that post crochet t-shirt yarn bags. A lot of them are like in Russia, in Poland, and you're going to notice that not a lot of Americans post or work on crochet bag projects with t-shirts yarn. I really hope you understand what I'm trying to say. The prevalent crochet projects in different regions vary, and I think this is because the availability of yarn in different regions vary as well. So back to my example, I feel like the reason why a lot of Russians are the ones in the crochet t-shirt yarn bag industry is because they have the t-shirt yarn readily available to them, unlike in the United States. Even if you've never noticed this thing I've said, now that I've said it, you can start looking out for it. If you see any very lovely crochet t-shirt yarn bag, you are going to notice that the person, like the crochet, is most likely from like Turkey, Russia, and those places. Like you're going to see a lot more people in that region. You're going to notice that a lot more crocheters in that region make crochet bags with t-shirt yarn when compared to people in the USA, right? And I think that boils down to availability of yarn. You are also going to notice that people in this region, like Brazil, Russia as well, they do a lot of lace, crochet lace, Irish crochet, you know, compared to people in USA as well. And again, I think that boils down to availability of yarn. So the point I'm driving at with this is that different regions have different yarns readily available to them. If you enjoy something and it's not easy getting the supplies you need, that hobby can quickly die down so much. Like if you're trying to pick up a new hobby or you're trying to build a new habit and the things you need to make that thing successful is not easily accessible, then that hobby can actually die down. So one thing I always preach to my students from all over the world is that they should try to use yarn that is readily available in their community. And crochet is like universal. Like you can crochet with any yarn. Like somebody from another region can make a crochet item with a different yarn, and you from another region can use a different yarn to crochet that same thing. Like the yarn the fact that the yarns are different does not mean that your crochet piece is not going to come out nice. No, it's just like, let me liken it to a biro. Like the fact that there are different brands of biros, there are different brands of pen, but you can use any pen to write anything. Like as long as you have a pen, you can write. Okay, that's just how crochet is. As long as you have yarn, you can crochet. The reason why I started this video by mentioning the fact that different regions have their own different yarns is because I've noticed that a lot of new crocheters in Nigeria feel like if their project isn't turning out right, it's because of the yarn, and that's not the case. Like, I can tell you for a fact that that is not the case. No matter what yarn, like even if you travel to another region, whatever yarn is available there, you can work with it and get beautiful projects. That is the absolute truth. So do not ever for 1 minute think that your yarn is the reason why your project is not coming out beautifully. Your yarn might be responsible for your projects being too thick. Your yarn might be responsible for your project not being as thick as you want, you know. But your yarn is not going to not make the piece look beautiful. No, not at all. But your yarn might affect how the piece feels, okay? So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm moving to question 2. What yarn do I actually use to make my own crochet pieces? And I'm going to tell you guys today, I crochet from Lagos, Nigeria, and 95% of my crochet items are made with yarns that are made here in Nigeria. Because like I've explained to you, if your supplies are not easily accessible, you're going to make the task harder than it already is, or harder than it needs to be. So I can't be hustling for yarn and trying to order yarn from outside Nigeria waiting for it to come. I just buy yarn that is made here in Nigeria, that is readily available, that I can easily get. Let me tell you, I have some projects that have begun with foreign yarn and I'm stuck because the yarn is sold out from where I bought it from and the vendors have not restocked. That is the #1 reason why I do not really like to work with foreign yarns, because the availability is not constant. Like if the vendor runs out, if the vendor is out of stock, then you are going to be stuck, right? It's not like I have anything against foreign yarns. I would just rather use something that is more readily available, you know. And of course, because the yarns are made here in Nigeria, they are easily accessible. They are also cheaper in comparison with foreign yarns, because I mean foreign yarns are imported. So not only are you paying for the yarn, you're also paying for the cost of shipping from whatever country you're buying from. Even if you're buying from a vendor here in Nigeria, best believe that the person has already factored in the cost of shipping the yarn from outside Nigeria to Nigeria, and those things are not cheap. So if you're new, you might get discouraged if you're noticing that the yarn is really expensive. That's another reason why I always advise people, just work with what's available in your own community, or like in your, like around you. So yeah, I'm going to be showing you now the actual yarns that we have here in Nigeria, that are made here in Nigeria, that you can get like easily from anywhere. I'm also going to be showing you where I shop these yarns from. I'm going to be listing vendors, you know. This video is just an all-encompassing video on yarns, where you can buy from, and you know, the different options you have. So in Nigeria, for acrylic yarn, we have 2 main brands. Actually, we have just 2 brands of acrylic yarn here in Nigeria, and one is Yeye, Yeye. This is one brand, and the other brand is actually called Haffar, Haffar, and they produce baby lamb. They also produce baby wool. I'm going to be showing you. So yeah, these are the two brands of acrylic yarn we have in Nigeria. These yarns, you can find them easily. Like at the market, when I first started crocheting, I only used to buy from the local markets. That is how widely spread these yarns are. Although this Yeye, they then have 2 types. There is this smaller one, which the strand is much thinner. This is the yarn that we grew up knowing, because this is the first one that Yeye used to do. They only came out with this bigger version, which also has a thicker strand, when more people started getting into crochet, and I believe they started getting more enquiries for thicker yarn. That was when they came out with Yeye Extra. So yeah, there's the smaller size, okay. This is Yeye regular, the smaller size, and the bigger one is called Yeye Extra. Not only does it have a bigger ball, the strand is also much thicker than the strand of Yeye regular. And let me just show you side by side. Can you notice that? Yep, these yarns are made here in Nigeria. Then baby lamb is also made here in Nigeria, and baby lamb has the same thickness with Yeye regular, as you can see. So you usually ask me which one I prefer between baby lamb and Yeye regular. Truthfully, I prefer baby lamb, but of course you can just work with the 2 and choose which one you like more. Also, I've noticed that the color shades are a bit different. So baby lamb red is a bit deeper than Yeye red. So sometimes when I'm trying to match color, I'll just choose whichever yarn has the color, like the actual color I really want to work with. So those are the ways I choose. But if both of them have the same color, I prefer to work with baby lamb. But now that Yeye has come out with a thicker version, I actually prefer to work with this thicker version when I need a thick piece. Okay, this Yeye regular, as you can see, this strand is thin, so I only work with this one now when I want a lightweight piece. When I don't want my piece to be thick, I work with Yeye regular. When I want my piece to be thick, I work with Yeye extra. But note that Yeye extra isn't even available in all colors. Like Yeye regular has more color options than Yeye extra. So even if I want a thick project and the color is not available in Yeye extra, I will use Yeye regular. But then I'm going to hold like 2, 3 or 4 strands together depending on the thickness I want. So I'm going to be crocheting with like 3 strands together, or even like, there is no limit, or even 5 strands together. You're just going to hold multiple strands to arrive at the thickness that you want. And that is one thing you guys used to say that or that is one thing you guys tell me, that the yarn is too thin. The yarn being thin is not a problem. Just use multiple strands to achieve the thickness that you want. If this was the only yarn available, then we will be stuck, because for somebody that does not want their piece to be too thick, there's no way they can split this up to achieve a lightweight project. So I even believe that it's better to have a thin yarn, because you can then use multiple strands to achieve different thicknesses. But if you only have a thick yarn, there is no way to undo the thickness to reduce it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So these are the yarns available here in Nigeria, and these are the yarns I use for 95% of my crochet projects. This sweater I'm wearing was made with Yeye extra. In fact, I feel like all of the pieces I've been wearing in my YouTube videos till date are made with yarns here, yarns that are made here in Nigeria. And if you are one of the people that say Nigerian yarns are not good, I don't support you. But one other thing I noticed is that when people are working with these Nigerian made yarns, they also use the normal crochet hooks that are sold at the market. And these crochet hooks, let me get one and show you. If you started your crochet journey in Nigeria, you are definitely going to recognize this hook. This is a crochet hook that is sold in the Nigerian market, and we called it knitting pin back then. We used to call crochet knitting back then because like we didn't really know that crocheting is different from knitting. But then again, if you go to the local market and tell them you want to buy a crochet hook, they're going to say they don't have. They're even going to say they don't know what you're talking about, because this is popularly called knitting pin in this part of the world. Okay. So the problem with this is that it is quite small. So when you're working with Yeye regular, which is also another yarn, you know, that is like common, when you buy this yarn and you tell them you want knitting pin, they'll give you this. So of course most people use this hook with this yarn. Now the problem is that this hook is quite small. So if you're using it with the yarn, it can spoil, it can pull the fibers of the yarn apart, because the way yarn is made, like each strand of yarn has like different fibers and intertwined. Do you see what is happening? One strand of yarn is made with, has like different plies. This is a 3-ply yarn. Do you notice this? So whenever you're using a hook that is too small for the yarn, your hook can cause this yarn to split. This is called splitting of yarn. And this is how you can tell that the hook is too small for the yarn. Like when you put the yarn at the throat of the crochet hook, you're going to notice that the hook does not completely cover the yarn. There's still yarn left at the tip of the hook. I'm not sure if you can see, but please click the link in the description box below. I wrote a blog post about different yarns you can use for your crochet project, and in that blog post I put a picture of how you can tell if the hook is too small for the yarn. But what is going to happen when the hook is too small for the yarn is that it can cause the yarn to split, which will then make your project have hairs, because that is something you guys tell me. You just say that the project is new, but then it has hairs already, and that is why some of you say that is why you don't like working with Nigerian brands. And the problem is not really the yarn that you're using. The problem is that the hook is most likely too small for the yarn, so it is causing the yarn, like it's pulling apart the fibers of the yarn right? It's pulling apart the fibers, which is why those hairs are coming out. I mean, this is made with Yeye extra, and it is not new. I've worn this a lot, really. I've worn this a lot and it's still like this. I have projects that I've made since 2007 when I initially learned crochet. Let me show you one of them. So look at this first. I made this purse, like, of course, way back. I used that crochet hook I just showed you, because I did not even know I didn't know that there were bigger or better crochet hooks. I used it with Yeye regular, and you can see, even though you notice hairs in this project, this is not bad for a project that is over 15 years old or over 14 years old. Of course, I don't carry this purse anymore right now, but when I did this back then, hey, I carried it then, because of course I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself, so I carried this a lot. So I don't really know, I can't, like, you guys can't tell me nothing. This is a project that is well over 10 years old, made with Yeye regular and that crochet hook. So, and it really doesn't look bad. I mean, in terms of the yarn piling, like the hairs and all, it's not so neat, because I think this was one of my very first projects. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with Nigerian made yarns. There is nothing. I repeat, there is nothing, and I'm a very big supporter of buy Naira to grow, or buy Nigerian to grow the Naira. I use Nigerian made yarns for majority of my crochet projects, and I do not have any problems with it. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, and I've made you realize that there is nothing wrong with using Nigerian made yarns, but of course, if you still prefer to use foreign yarns, feel free, you do you, but don't tell people that Nigerian made yarns are bad, because they are not. All right, it's just your preference if you don't want to use Nigerian made yarns. Now let's dive into where can I buy them from. Oh, I am ready. So I'm going to insert clips of where you can shop your yarns from. When I initially started my business, I used to shop my yarns from the local market. I live in Lagos, so I buy my yarns from Idumota. Like, Idumota is like one of the biggest markets in Lagos. Idumota, that's where I buy my yarns from. And if you know that market, it is so rowdy. Even though I try to film, me going there to the yarn store, honestly, it was very rowdy. I think that the footage wasn't great, but I'm still going to explain to you what it is. Now, when you go to the market, I mean, the market has old women, old men, you know, market people. They are not online savvy. They don't know anything about putting their things on Instagram. They don't. So you just walk into the market, and there are different stores there. It's not just one yarn shop. There are a lot of yarn shops. But this yarn is very popular in Nigeria. So in Lagos where I live, this yarn is very popular. So I don't know that you'll say you can't find it. If you go to just that Idumota, there are so many shops that they sell this, and they sell this in some smaller markets or like within the streets. But I just like to buy from Lagos Island, because I'm sure that I'm going to get there and I'm going to get the color I want. Because again, there are different shops. If one shop does not have the color you want, you just go to another shop, right? So I'll put up the clip. Now, what I'm saying is, they don't know about online business, like putting things online. So if you want to buy from there, you have to go there to the market by yourself and buy from them. Although I have somebody that I've been buying from for a very long time, so we did build that relationship, and whenever I want to buy yarns, I just call him, I tell him what I want. His shop is in Lagos Island, but then I send a rider there to pick up the package and deliver it to me. So this is something you can also do as well. I'll leave his number in the description box below, and you know, you can call him if you want yarn. He sells Yeye regular. In fact, just call him if you want any Nigerian made yarn. He's going to give you the price. Now, of course, the market price is going to be cheaper than if you're buying online, but I'm still going to I'm still going to show you some online stores you can buy from, because I know that some people just do not like going to the market ish. You know, it's very stressful. I don't go to the market myself. I just went to the market this time around to show you guys the place. Yeah, and if you go to the market, just bear in mind that if you're buying, I know you guys know how market is. If you're buying like on the roadside, it's going to be a bit more expensive than if you walk inside the market. This guy that I'm going to give you his number inside the market, so his price is cheaper compared to the prices of those selling by the roadside. But of course, if you call him, I mean, he's going to just tell you the prices. And one more thing I want to say before I start showing you the stores is that there's a fake yarn. I've shown you Yeye, I've shown you baby lamb. The company that makes baby lamb also does baby wool. Baby wool, baby lamb, they make sense. They are good acrylic yarns made here in Nigeria. Then there's a yarn called Baby wool, which is Babye, with wool. That yarn is fake. It is made in China. There's also baby wool, which is BABYM wool. That yarn is fake. It is made in China. Those yarns are not good. I do not recommend them, and I'm actually going to show you, like, I saw those yarns at the market. I made a video so that I can show you and tell you that these yarns aren't great, but I feel like they serve a particular purpose. People use it to make hair. I've used those yarns to crochet in the past. They served the purpose, but truthfully, anything you make with that yarn will not last so long because the yarn itself is fake. Okay, just check the description box below, you know, for all helpful links. There's a link there on to my blog post where I talked about how you can choose the right yarn for your project. I have another blog post where I talked about how you can choose the correct hook size for your project. Okay, yeah, I'm also going to link all the vendors, like the online vendors that you can order from if you don't want to go to the market. I'm going to link online vendors that you can also order foreign yarns from. You know, I've been talking about Nigerian made yarns all along, but of course I know some vendors that sell foreign yarns too, because I use foreign yarns, just not every time. Like, I don't use foreign yarns often, but I know some vendors. I'll link them in the description box below. The vendors can ship to you wherever you are in Nigeria. I'm going to link all the yarn vendors I know in the description box. Please, if you don't see a yarn vendor in your state, you don't need to send me a message on Instagram to ask me, because it means I don't know. Like, there's no real way I'm going to know a yarn vendor in Port Harcourt. I don't live in Port Harcourt, okay, unless they are online. All right, so please, I'm linking the people I know in the description box. If you don't see somebody in your state, you can order from the people in Lagos or somebody that is close to your state and have them deliver to you. That also works. That's something very easy that you can do, and all the vendors are trusted. Okay, so here you see me walking into Crafties. Crafties is a craft store here in Lagos, Nigeria, and they sell different craft supplies, not just crochet supplies. If you're in Lagos, definitely check out Crafties. They are in Ikeja, GRA. As you can see, they have knitting needles, crochet hooks, scissors. They sell beads. Like, let me not go into crafts that are not my own, but they sell different craft tools. You can see the different crochet hooks, different sizes. They can also deliver to you even if you're outside Lagos. All right, they sell crochet books. This was where I bought my very first crochet book from, and they sell different types of yarn, both Nigerian made yarns and foreign yarns. So I believe this is an all-inclusive place. This is Yeye Extra that is up there. They sell paracords, which are used for making bags. That's Yeye Regular. This is an Lydia's crochet thread. That's a foreign yarn. This is another cord. This Caron is also an imported yarn. You know, this is 4 yarn. They just have different types of yarns that you can buy, and I'll link their Instagram page down below and their phone number so you can call them. This is a cotton yarn that is made here in Nigeria. There's just a wide variety of things you can buy here in the store, so definitely check them out, you know. Check them out. This is baby lamb that they have stocks there. That is t-shirt yarn. This is fishing twine you can use for making clothes or bags. There's just so many things you can do, and you know, don't allow supplies stop you anymore, because I've just shown you where you can buy all the things from. So guys, this is me at Balogun. That is Tom Jones bus stop. So you go from Tom Jones bus stop and you enter that first turning on the left. It is Dosumu Street. That's Dosumu Street. You enter that street and you're going to find lots of yarn stores in that street. You can see I'm walking down. I didn't want to hold my phone up. The market is very rowdy. There are so many people, but you know, just look around as you walk down. They also sell, like, yarn is not the only thing they sell in the street. Apparently it's a big market. So just look up, you're going to see the different shops where they have yarns. I'm just walking down, and whenever I come across a yarn shop where I can film, I'll let you guys see. But this street is your place. Transfer. Guys, if you see the way she looked at me when I asked if they take transfer, Lagos is very savage. Anyway, On to the next shop. I didn't buy from them because like I felt like the lady was rude. I didn't ask any question that was out of place. I just asked if they take transfer, and she was looking at me weird as if I insulted her. Sha, there's also another lady in this market who sells foreign yarns. I feel like she's the only one actually, and I'm going to her shop now. When I get there, I'll show you. All right, I am now at Edidan store. Edidan is the name of a brand. She sells foreign yarns. She sells like other tools, the hook, your yarn needles, stitch markers, basically whatever you need to crochet. This is the only lady that sells foreign yarns in the market. And I am now on my way to another shop. I think here I was just heading to my direct customers shop because I have a customer who is like really inside the market. I'm telling you, Lagos is very weird. As I was going, I came across this store where they sell this cotton yarn. That yarn is plain cotton, and I was inquiring, and this guy says that I'm selling something at the market. Why am I coming to ask him? Like, he said I'm selling the same thing. So why am I coming to ask them for the price of their own? Like, almost as if I just want to do, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you guys get. Like, he said we're selling the same thing. So why am I asking them for the price of their own? I just left there like this person is dreaming. I'm almost at my destination, but I saw another yarn store, that I wanted to get on camera for you. I'm just zooming in there now. I hope you can see that store. There are a lot of yarn shops here, you guys. You just need to go there if you want to explore. Finally, here are my customers, and I'm showing you that baby yarn, that baby wool I spoke about earlier. You can see it. This yarn is made in China, and it is fake. But, of course, it sells other yarns. It sells Yeye. This that baby, don't buy this. But if you buy it, just know you're buying it for experimentation sake. It sells baby lamb, it sells Yeye regular, all the other ones I showed you guys earlier. It sells everything. This is my customer. I will leave his details in the description box below. That's baby wool. There's also baby, the one that ends with E. But not this baby wool. The ones spelled correctly are from here, Nigeria. That's the second one made by Alpha. Alpha makes baby wool and baby lamb. Those two, they are made here in Nigeria. It just has all the other, they have different colors as you can see. Market price is different from online price, like I told you guys earlier. This is fishing twine.
You'll be 2 years old tomorrow.
This fishing twine is used for making bags. Another perk of buying from the market is that they have a lot of color options. And this, the crochet hook I showed you, even though crochet hook is written boldly on it, if you tell somebody from the market that you want to buy crochet hook, they'll tell you that they don't know what you're talking about. You need to say you want to buy it. And another customer was telling me about how the price has gone up. When I started crocheting, the whole pack of that crochet hook, I think it was 80 naira. The guy told me that it is now 800 naira. But we need to realize that when I started crochet was like about 15 years ago. So yeah, inflation has done a lot of damage. I'm actually going back home now. If I see another yarn store that I can get on camera, I'll definitely show you guys. But this street has a lot of different yarn shops. Now before I leave the market, I had to show you my other customers shop. This is where I buy my giraffe cotton thread from. To use cotton thread for your project, you can buy from this woman.
This video for you guys because this is a question I get asked a lot. I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any other questions aside from where you can get yarns, because I believe that I've covered everything in this video as regards where you can buy your yarns from. But if you have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. If you also sell yarn and you are in another state that I do not list, you can put it in the comments down below for people who are going to be reading. But please bear in mind that I am only recommending vendors that I've bought from in the description box. If you buy something, or if you choose to buy something from somebody who left a comment, please make sure you do your own research, make sure you do your own due diligence, because we're not going to act like there are no scammers. I don't know everybody. The people I know, I trust, I've bought from, I've put them in the description box for you. So to be on the safe side, definitely order from them. But if you see another person in the comment section who is in your state that you want to buy from, make sure you do your research. Maybe go to their store, or just find a way to make sure that they are not about to scam you. Please, everybody, take care. And I'm going to see you in my next video, where I'm going to be telling you all about my
free crochet class. So if you always wanted to learn crochet and like you don't really have the budget to invest in a class, you should definitely look out for that video where I'm going to be telling you all about my free crochet class. It's for beginners though. So see you in my next video. Bye.